I will say that of all of the contract extensions that you could have tossed my way this afternoon, of all the things that you could have told me were supposed to happen this afternoon, you could have given me a pretty long list before that list included Omar Khan 3-year contract extension. And I said, yeah, that's the one that I think is going to occur on July 3rd at about 2 p.m. when the deal went down. We're diving into it. Okay. Let's start with just the basic reactions to this one. Omar inks a 3-year deal. TJ still does not have a deal. TJ Watt is still tossing up the deuces, saying, peace, Pittsburgh. Sign me to a $41 million a year deal or get me the hell out of town because I'm tired of this. Mike Tomlin has some wild reports emerging from him. 24 hours ago, we're talking about who's on the hot seat. You wrote a story today about Ross Tucker saying that the Steelers are acting as if somebody's on the hot seat. Well, I'll tell you, it's the complete opposite of that because Omar Khan is here for at least the next 3 seasons. Your reaction to a deal that I obviously shook us, but comes in the midst of a TJ Watt deal that is not done and is handed instead to the guy who was negotiating it. I mean, can't get any crazier than that.
Crazy. Truly was so surprised, especially, yes, you mentioned the Ross Tucker podcast, and I think his comments, which were basically, someone's fighting for a job, so to speak. I think you and I touched on this a little bit yesterday when we talked about how because they have kind of passed the line of going all in, because they have fully pushed all of their chips to the center of the table, and they are saying we are going for a Super Bowl. If this goes poorly, if it fails, who does it reflect most on? Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan. So 24 hours later, that whole conversation has just been totally destroyed. So yes. I am shocked to say the least, but I don't think that it is a move that is undeserved. I think the past couple of weeks have really, really shined a magnascope, shined a light onto Omar Khan's tenure as the general manager with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes. So there's been a lot of polarizing opinions coming out, but he has been one of the steadiest GMs in a very, what is a very unsteady position. So I don't think it is crazy for him to get an extension. I think it is wild that he gets an extension before TJ Watt gets one done.
I agree. I like Omar Khan. I think Omar Khan has had some good years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, done some good things. Chase Claypool for Joey Porter Jr. remains one of the biggest fleeces the NFL has seen in the last 5 years. You sign Patrick Queen for cheap, whether he works out or not, we still don't know, but I like it. You get Zach Frazier, you get Troy Fautanu, you build the trenches, you find some running back depth that you could look at and feel good about. You go out and get some veterans like Deshaun Elliott, who could turn out to be a massive steal for this team. You stack the back end in Derek Harmon and Keanu Benton and Y.E. Black, and everything looks good. Omar Khan, up until this summer, outside of a small blemish in the possibility that Broderick Jones might not be it, looks pretty good on paper. They've done some good things. But at the same time, Omar Khan has not won a playoff game. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in the midst of their biggest contract negotiation in his tenure as general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it seems to be going very south. Meanwhile, you are making deals that you have never made before. You are reshaping the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers way does not seem to exist this offseason. And instead of patience, instead of seeing how this works out, instead of banking on or waiting to bank on, okay, this was a great move, the Pittsburgh Steelers are handing him a deal, a contract extension. And that's my only pullback is I like Omar. I think Omar is very good at his job. I think you could trust Omar Khan. I also think that if this doesn't work out, it comes to no surprise because this is on paper a situation that sure as hell looks like one that 365 days from now we're going, this was a bad move. This was a really bad. This is a team signing someone in the midst of massive change and then that massive change doesn't work out, and they are back to not ground zero, but possibly worse. And that'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers if they end up without TJ Watt. If the Steelers end up TJ Watt-less and they have a terrible season, everybody will be yelling for the entire organization to go. Everybody, head to toe, top down, get out of here, everybody, clean house. Omar Khan's part of that. They're not concerned. That's my only pullback, is that this sets them up for even bigger failure and to look even worse in the long run. I mean, they handed Mike Tomlin a contract extension after he couldn't win 8 playoff games. And now they're in Omar Khan an extension before he's signed TJ, and he's done things like trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's just, I mean, again, like, there's got to be somebody there negotiating these deals. Whoever that is, and Rooney gets the final say in it all. Taking chances for sure. And will it work out? I don't know. Do you think this changes anything for TJ Watt and the future of TJ Watt?
Man, I hope not, but I tell you what, I feel like I lose grasp, and lose track of the plot of the TJ Watt negotiations with each passing day. And I feel like I have less of a sense of what's going on with every passing minute. I was confident yesterday, 100% confident that he would still remain a Steeler. I am, frazzled by this extension for Omar Khan, because I just don't understand why it was a priority at all. And I do not buy that it was a convenient timing sort of situation, and that this was in the process for months and they just happened to get this done in July, whenever there's a million other things frankly more pressing than making sure that your general manager, who is fine but still performing like his job's on the line, doesn't really make a lot of sense. All that said, I don't think it makes a ton of difference today for TJ Watt yet, but I think we are, I think maybe I was 10% on my possibility of him, moving or this not working out yesterday or the last time we checked in about it. I think you got to bump it up to like a 15. I think every time something happens that isn't a TJ Watt extension, it's a little percentage. It's a bump or two, a notch or two in the direction of this might actually not happen for the Steelers. And that's concerning to me.
Oh, I mean, it's incredibly concerning. If the Pittsburgh Steelers don't sign TJ Watt, I'm sorry, but good things aren't going to happen. Like, your all-in Super Bowl run season doesn't look good. You're set back to trying to replace TJ Watt. Here's a stat for you, okay? Minkah Fitzpatrick, when not in the game the last 2 seasons, the Steelers are 6-1. TJ Watt in his career, as we said yesterday, 1-11. It is a different situation. Trading Minkah, okay, I understand it. Trading TJ, not signing TJ, however this works out, is not the way to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I mean, I hope, because the alternative to this, the side that you could say, okay, maybe the Steelers know something we don't, is that maybe Omar and TJ are very close and things have changed over the last 24 hours and the Steelers are aware that it's going to happen. They don't have to stress as much as everybody else has to stretch. But if that's not the case, Omar doesn't get a deal until TJ. That would have been my rule of thumb. When you sign TJ Watt to an extension, you could walk in here and we can negotiate. Until then, you have bigger fish to fry than your own job. I promise you that. Absolutely wild.